at 5, a judge has denied Dan Doyle's motion to dismiss the charges against him. Doyle was indicted back in 2013 on 18 felony counts. He allegedly embezzled more than $1 million from the Institute for International Sport and forged signatures allegedly of board members. He denies those charges. Eyewitness News reporter Jared Pliner was in court today for the hearing. He joins us live from the South County Mobile Newsroom.
Shannon, that's right. And the judge's denial of that motion today from the bench means that the process of selecting a trial jury, well, that will continue. The expected 2 to 4 month long embezzlement trial of Dan Doyle, once executive director of the Institute for International Sport, will begin soon. Today, a Washington County judge refused to throw out the indictment, ruling there was, quote, not even a hint of prosecutorial misconduct in the case. Doyle of West Hartford, Connecticut, said there had been and criticized the state police for its handling of grand jury materials. Doyle had also argued former state Democratic Party chair Bill Lynch, who'd done legal work for the Institute, broke attorney-client confidentiality when he testified before the grand jury in 2013. But the state showed a waiver with Doyle's signature on it, freeing up Lynch to talk more than 3 years ago.
And you were authorized by Mr. Doyle, who signed it right here, correct?
Yes.
Files correspondence, whether written or oral, related to Dan Doyle Jr. and then all the entities related to this, correct?
Yes.
Dan Doyle is accused of taking more than $1 million in unauthorized salary increases and other expenses from the youth sports nonprofit, which was based at URI's flagship campus in Kingston. The Institute for International Sport received over $7 million in taxpayer-funded grants for over 25 years and had the backing of many state leaders. The investigation into the Institute began several years ago amid questions about where nearly $600 grand in public dollars to construct an unfinished Institute building had gone. And among the other counts against Dan Doyle, obtaining money under false pretenses, forgery and counterfeiting, and filing false documents. And new at 6 o'clock, we've obtained a list. It is a long one of potential witnesses in this case. There are some big names on it, and we will see you next hour with that. For now, live with the South County Mobile Newsroom, I'm Jared Pliner, Eyewitness News.
As we reported live at 5, a judge has denied Dan Doyle's request to dismiss embezzlement charges, meaning the trial against the founder, I should say, of the Institute for International Sport will move forward. Eyewitness News reporter Jared Pliner joins us now with more live coverage at 6, including a list of those who could testify. Jared?
Mike, that's right. Eyewitness News obtained a list of 114 names, people who could either testify or be mentioned in court. They are politicians, philanthropists, 2 sitting judges, 2 former governors, Dupree and Kachiri, and URI President David Dooley. 2 to 4 months. That is how long the Attorney General's office has blocked out for the embezzlement trial of Dan Doyle, founder of the Institute for International Sport, a youth sports nonprofit that was located at URI for decades. Tonight, a South County judge has refused to throw out the 18 counts against Doyle, ruling despite defense arguments there was no sign of prosecutorial misconduct and that state police had not illegally seized evidence from witnesses who voluntarily handed it over. Doyle had also argued former state Democratic Party chair Bill Lynch, who'd done legal work for the Institute, broke attorney-client confidentiality when he testified before the grand jury. But the state showed a waiver with Doyle's signature on it, freeing Lynch from the obligation. Doyle, a Connecticut native, is accused of taking more than $1 million in unauthorized payments from the organization. The Institute for International Sport received over $7 million in taxpayer-funded grants. Many state leaders were vocal supporters. Also on the list, philanthropist Sean Allen Feinstein, former Hasbro CEO Alan Hasenfeld, and former Rhode Island House Speaker Gordon Fox, who of course continues to serve his sentence in federal prison. We're now live with the South County Mobile Newsroom. I'm Jared Pliner, Eyewitness News.